Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of Chatting the Most. It's your boy T. I'm back. We back, baby. We back. Today, I am joined by a good friend of mine, Meg Scott. What are you saying, Meg?
Yo.
Meg's got a degree in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it would be a good idea for us to have a conversation about mental health. I was meant to do this in November for men's mental health, but our timelines, schedules didn't align. So yeah, Meg, just tell the people about yourself.
So yeah, I've got a degree in psychology, like T mentioned. I'm now a youth worker as well, and I work with young people who are using drugs and alcohol. I have got personal experience with mental illness. I've got mental illnesses myself, so anything I say, I'm not like a registered healthcare professional. I'm just saying it from personal experience. And to give a little advice, because everything I've learned can be imparted onto you.
Big facts. But before we get into all of that, how are you, Meg? How are you?
I'm good. I mean, I had like a week off work with COVID and then another 2 weeks off for Christmas. So like getting back into it is so busy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. We got COVID around the same time, right?
Yeah, literally.
I was quite excited because I've had I had 3 weeks off work. I was gassed.
Yeah, so did I.
I was so gassed.
I was gassed at the time, but now like it's long getting back into the swing of things.
Nah,
it's so busy.
Mate, I wish I still had it, to be honest. I need like another week to just chill out at home. How was your New Year's?
Yeah, nothing special. I just stayed in with my mum. How was yours?
Jealous. I was just at the crib, fam. Just doing illegal things and chilling.
Remember that willpower?
Listen, I don't have any of that. But flip. Like you were saying, you said you yourself have your own like mental illnesses, right? Would you say that everyone has some kind of mental illness? Because I feel like mental health is an issue that like you hear about, and it seems like only certain people have it, but I feel like everyone does at some point.
I think everyone has the ability to develop it. That's why you can never be complacent. I lived 19 years of my life with not one single mental health issue.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, due to some trauma, I now have about 3 different mental illnesses. And I never ever thought it'd be me.
I hear that. Do you mind saying what they are?
No. I've got post-traumatic stress disorder, I've got panic disorder, and I've got health anxiety.
Okay.
So it's a real concoction.
So if I was to say what is mental health to you, what would you actually say? Like, what is mental health, Meg?
So mental health is, people use the term often as like a negative thing. Mental health is your mental health as a whole. So people sometimes get confused between mental health and mental illness.
Yeah.
So everyone has mental health.
Yeah, I feel this is what I'm saying. Everyone's got mental health.
Yeah, everyone has mental health like we all have physical health.
Yeah.
Mental illness is different. Mental illness can come from genetics, chemical imbalances, trauma, diet and lifestyle,
so
alcohol,
really, people
drugs.
need to learn to differentiate the two.
Ideally, yeah, because a lot of people sort of say, oh, I've got bad mental health, and people might think they mean mental illness, but you can have a bad day and not have a mental illness.
Yeah, that's true. Because depression is one, right? Depression is mental illness, which is something that I think I've definitely had, or probably have.
Yeah, I think you do as well.
But I wouldn't say I have anything else. Not that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, like some people go their whole life and they never really suffer, or some people will have PTSD for a time and recover, or get a bit of anxiety before, like anxiety provoking situations.
Yeah.
But a mental illness, when you're in the midst of it, is sort of an ongoing, it feels never ending, it's more intense.
Yeah.
Like for me, I experience it really physically.
Yeah, I've always wondered, like, when people say they get anxiety and it's like their heart starts racing and all of this other stuff, is it triggered by, what is it actually triggered by?
Everyone is different. For me, it's always triggered by health related things, or if I don't feel so, because I have health anxiety.
What is health anxiety first?
It's basically the anxiety around
Your health.
being ill.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I get it around other people's health.
Okay.
It stemmed from basically when I was 19, I took loads of drugs. I didn't overdose, but it's along those lines.
Yeah.
And I was in hospital on a heart monitor for a good few hours. And since then, I think it just brought to life the fact that like things can go wrong.
Yeah.
Because before then, I was never an ill child. You know what I mean? Never been to hospital, none of that. So I think it brought that all to life. And then now that's my biggest trigger, really. Anything.
So like for example,
related.
if you're on a night out and you think, and like all your friends are doing drugs, you get anxiety.
No, that doesn't trigger me.
No.
What would trigger me would be like, for example, the first time I had COVID.
Yeah.
The thought is like, oh my God, I'm going to be breathless. I'm going to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like really, really irrational thoughts.
Yeah.
Like something like if you just had a stomachache, you would be like, calm, I've got a stomachache.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, I've got fucking kidney stones. I've got cancer in my stomach.
Yeah.
It's like one extreme to another. People would say I'm a hypochondriac, but sometimes that actually offends me because I have a mental illness. It's not like I'm doing this shit on purpose. You know what I mean?
What's a hypochondriac?
Where like you always catastrophize about how ill you are and stuff like that. Well, I'm a really healthy person, and I only generally say that I'm ill when I'm generally feeling ill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does annoy me when people say hypochondriac because like it's actually a mental illness.
Yeah. Is it actually one thing that I was reading up on recently was that it is actually a chemical imbalance that causes this to happen. But is it though? Because
I think it's being researched in science. I think what I know about that, obviously I'm not a scientist, but for example, anxiety, it comes from an imbalance of dopamine often. And it's related to your GABA production. GABA is, I think it's a, what's that word? It will come back to me. But it's within your brain. Basically, you naturally create it.
Yeah.
But often people with anxiety have less GABA.
Yeah.
So that's why like I take a supplement of L-theanine because it helps the production of GABA.
Okay, yeah.
With depression, it's a chemical imbalance of serotonin.
Okay.
So you can take things like 5-HTP that help with serotonin. But it's not always as simple as you take a supplement and it goes away. It for example, for me, like it's deep-rooted trauma. So
yeah.
L-theanine helps, but it's not getting to the root.
But is it... Because I've always thought, like, for example, if I'm at work, if something's going on wrong at work, or if something's happened in the past before and I've got past traumas, that would be the reason that I have any type of mental illness, not because of some kind of chemical imbalance. Do you know what I mean? Because like...
Yeah, well, I guess the mental illnesses themselves can also cause the chemical imbalances because when your body's like in fight or flight mode or something like that, then all the chemicals are rushing to one place and then they need replenishing.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like dopamine, for example. What's a good example? You see how these days we're all on social media all the time, scrolling.
Yeah.
At first it gives you a dopamine rush, let's say.
Yeah.
Feels good, all that, whatever. But eventually it's actually detrimental to your dopamine. So it's good to have long breaks off social media and stuff. That's just one example, but it's one that's very toxic that a lot of people don't acknowledge.
I need to do that actually because I'm always on social media.
Yeah, I usually do the whole month of January off it, but yeah, I'm a bit delayed. I need to get on that.
How often do you implement like stuff like social media, a social media break, or what other things do you do to kind of help?
I do loads of stuff because if I don't, I feel like I just go into complete meltdown. I feel like there's a lot of things that really keep me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And often, like, I'll be doing these things for a time and I'll be feeling good, so I'll stop doing them, get complacent, and then I start feeling shit again, so I have to just implement them again.
Yeah.
So it's about being consistent for these things to work. But yeah, I take a lot of supplements, a lot of adaptogen herbs like ashwagandha, which is really good for anxiety. I feel like I could literally write a book on this shit.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm not a healthcare professional.
This is why I needed to speak to you, because I don't know. Like, obviously, everyone knows about mental health, but I feel like people don't really know.
I think, yeah, you when you want to know about something, you take the time to learn in it. So
Yeah.
for me, because I don't want to be like this, I've taken the time to learn
Yeah.
how to get better.
Would you say, so say for example, if theoretically I have childhood traumas, which I do, going to see a therapist would help combat or help in making sure that my mental health stays intact and doesn't lead to some kind of mental illness?
Yeah. So I don't think you always need to have experienced trauma to go to therapy. But if you have, then you should go to therapy. My personal experience with therapy, though, is I did a bit through the NHS, but it was like online stuff. It was
Everyone's told me NHS is dead.
Yeah, it's dead. It's dead. So I went private. I paid private, like £60 an hour with this woman. And she was doing like talking therapy, like the traditional therapy. A bit like Sigmund Freud, you know, like psychology.
Sigmund Freud,
yeah, so she really digging into my childhood. Like, it's like she was looking for like some long time abuse or like, you know, like that traditional. But there's nothing there. I'm like, it all started when I was 19. I was in hospital from the drugs and all this stuff. Like, I know when it started. I just need to know how to deal with it. But every session, I think I did about 6 sessions with her. I didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
Like, she gave me a couple of good analogies that helped me understand my brain. But I didn't. She was trying to dig into trauma and not give me coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
So I've stopped that, but now I'm about to start with a new therapist doing cognitive behavioural therapy, which will focus on coping mechanisms, give me homework, exposure therapies, all of this stuff that will help me like regain control of my mind, basically, because it focuses on how your thoughts and behaviours are linked.
Yeah.
And emotions are linked.
I really find stuff like that really interesting. Like, I want to go see a therapist just to see what they can kind of get out of me.
You should definitely do it. I mean, I'm not slating the NHS because a lot of things they do are amazing. As anything, they're overworked and underpaid. But if you're going to do it, I would do it private.
Yeah.
Like, when you're paying for it, you, in a way, like, they make more of an effort.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's another thing as well. I've always thought, they must be finessing niggas certain times.
Well, with the NHS, they try and put you in group therapy or make you do online things. It's not always one-to-one straight away.
Yeah.
I mean, some other people might have had a better experience than me, but
maybe
it's just this borough. I don't know. But I definitely think pay private if you can afford it. I think you build more of a rapport. You get to choose when it's like how long you do it for. If you want to do it for 5 years.
How many hours do you do normally? Like, say it's
1 hour
session?
a week.
Okay, calm. I thought you were doing like 3 hours a day. I was thinking, shit.
Fuck that. I feel like that's what I need.
But okay, so genetics, you were saying before, is also something that can.
Yeah, so that is often spoke about, how genetics play a role in mental illnesses. As in, like, sometimes it's passed down in families. I mean, I don't know too much on that. When I look at my own family, I see, like, one of my nans has a lot of anxiety and stuff, and maybe it was passed on. But I know, like, for me, it came from a place of trauma. It's different for everyone. Sometimes, as well as genetics, it's learnt behaviour. Yeah. If someone sees their parent who's depressed and always in their room, lights off, no natural light coming in, not talking to people, stuff like that, it's a learnt behaviour.
I hear that. I actually find it really interesting that the mental illnesses that you do have all came from this one thing that happened to you at 19.
Yeah. I mean, I would be interested to see if that didn't happen to me, whether they would have developed later on. So before
this happened, you genuinely did not have...
Not at all.
Anything at all.
I was fucking reckless.
That's probably why you just didn't take the time to actually notice them, maybe.
I mean, definitely doing drugs when you are young it fucks you up. Like, your developing brain, you're literally annihilating your developing brain. You're breaking up all the neural pathways that need to be developed. You're literally fucking shit up, and that is what I have done.
Yeah.
So it's understandable. Like sometimes I find it easier to accept because I know that it's understandable that I'm like this, because I was doing drugs from doing
young.
class A's when I was 15.
Yeah.
Boy. But it got me where I am, because now I'm working with young people doing the same shit. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good side that I need to stop eating these sweets.
Yeah, you do.
The fact that you've turned it around though, and now you're like kind of using it to help other young people. Yo, I'm really drooling from these sweets. The fact that you're using it to help other young people's. It's a good thing, because like you could have gotten this mental illness and it could have just been downhill. Period. Yeah.
Well, when I first developed it, I couldn't leave the house for about a month. Couldn't be on my own.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like suicidal in that?
I've felt suicidal a lot of times, to be honest. Not because I don't enjoy life and because I don't want to live, but because I don't want to live like this.
Yeah, it's just long, innit?
It's fucking long. The physical sensations that I experience sometimes feel like death.
What do you mean?
And I'm like, I would rather just die.
Like what?
I'm not suicidal now, by the way, guys, but I'm just saying.
I am.
You're not.
Yeah.
No, I get awful heart palpitations, like really, really. I've had to call an ambulance about 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, bare shit.
I also find it interesting how, as men, I don't think we really open up about our mental health or our mental illnesses.
No, you don't.
I think I try.
Well, you're much more open than a lot of men, and that's not like me trying to talk shit on any men, but I understand that like some household environments don't allow men to be open from a young age, and that's why they develop that fear of opening up. Or if they're constantly being told to man up and shit what the fuck is that? That's so toxic. How can you tell someone to man up? Like, what does that even mean?
It's true. I had a kid today actually at work who was I can't remember what the conversation was, but we were talking about crying. And he was like, yeah, but I'm just a kid. Men don't cry. And I was like, what? I was like, men cry. Like, I cry sometimes.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, I do. He was like, no, you don't. Men don't cry. And I was just like, this is just a never-ending cycle of young boys being told that they shouldn't be expressive of how they feel. Or they shouldn't feel they shouldn't feel certain emotions or feel certain types of way because they are men.
When I'm a parent, I will encourage my kids to feel all their emotions, because that is part of being a human being. Because, you know, enough times I hear girls say, my man doesn't show emotion, my man's got no emotion. But what would you do when he cried? What would you do? You would probably not like it, say he's weak, all of this shit, and then you're trying to say he's got no emotion. He suppressed his emotion because of how you chat about it.
Yeah, facts. No, that's true, you know. Yeah. Like, in as much as men obviously play a role in that whole take on being a man, women, it's true what you just said actually. Like, if I was to cry, are you going to be accepting and open and listening to what I have to say, or are you just going to be like...
I would prefer,
she's going to get the ick.
Yeah.
That's what...
Yeah.
She's going to start saying, you're giving me the ick.
When people say, get the ick when man cry at films.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
at least he has emotion, hun.
It's true. Big facts.
There's enough guys that have suppressed their emotions, and it's sad, and it's... as you say, like the younger generations, they're learning from it, and it shouldn't be like that.
No, it's a never-ending cycle, and we need to be proactive in changing that for the youth.
100%.
For sure. I'm trying to think what else we had touched on before that we wanted to touch on. Your diet and lifestyle. I would say me and you had a little chat. When was it when we had a little catch up that time? Like 2 months ago, 3 months ago maybe, when we went for a little walk. And I would say I was in quite a
oh yeah
I don't even know what to say, what the word is.
Bad place?
In a bad place, yeah. I wasn't taking gym like I wasn't taking gym serious at all. I didn't give a fuck about my diet. I was just eating whatever the fuck I wanted. But I've noticed in the last like month and a half that now that I have started putting more effort into going to the gym, enjoying the gym, and thinking about what I'm putting in my body, I'm definitely in a better place. My mental health has gotten better. So for you as well, would you say that gym and diet is something that you're really passionate about as well?
I think what is important to say here, though, what I have learned is that exercise, right, depending on what exercise you do, can actually put stress on your body. So say like I used to like lift heavy weights, like I used to deadlift, like, I mean, it doesn't sound a lot, but it was a lot for me at the time, like 60, 70 kg, or squat maybe like 50 kg. I don't know. Anyway, that was when I was much more overweight. But exercise like that actually puts your body in a state of stress.
Yeah.
And so does like intense like running and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for someone like me who's already physically stressed,
Yeah.
exercise like that is counterproductive.
Yeah, I get you.
So learning ways to exercise and move your body that is going to benefit you is what is more key. So for me now, like I don't lift heavy weights. I'm focusing more on calisthenics, body weight stuff, like resistance bands, yoga, stretching, all of them things that I enjoy in the moment and don't put extra stress on my body.
Yeah.
I think we're in this culture now where like girls especially, they just want fat glutes and, you know, all of this stuff. But like, how is your mind, hun?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, are you putting yourself under all this pressure, calorie deficit, or all of this stuff? But like, how is your mind? Because if your body looks amazing, it doesn't mean shit if your mind is not
matching it. Yeah, it's true. That's facts, actually.
And that's what I've learned.
And I was having this conversation with a few of the boys the other day, and we were saying like, it's always the, oh no, is that mental health or is that just personality? But we were saying how like all the fitness girls, like they're good looking, but they aren't usually, one, they're usually boring. Two, they're usually screw looses as well. Not to generalize all of you guys, but just saying, in a lot of cases, that's what I've seen as well. Right, from a lot of the girls that I know personally.
I would say the same for a lot of gym guys, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of gym guys, they just fucking love themselves.
Yeah.
They just like want to get their dick wet. All that testosterone from working out.
Yeah, facts.
Again, I'm not generalising, but
it's just observation.
It's that culture sometimes in the gym, you know, like everyone wants to be the best. Like why are you all competing with each other?
It's true.
Like, girl, if you got a big batty, I'm happy for you.
More power to you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go for it. Like, I appreciate your bum.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm jealous of it. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I need to go ham in the gym because I want to look like that, because I know that it's not right for my mind.
Yeah, that's true. I think, that's another thing as well, because like I've met a few guys in the gym. I met this one guy called, I'm not even gonna say his name. I met this one guy. I think he's like 18. And just from the start of the convo, he was just like, "You look really strong, bro." And I was like, "Yeah, thank you, man. You look strong as well." I was like, "Nah, I'm trying to get like you." I'm just like, "Gee, like, you don't even know."
What was that thing where it was like, "I'm trying to be like you, bro."
I'm trying to be like you, G.
What was that?
I think it's just a thing.
Was it Mo the comedian?
I think, was it Mo? I think it was Mo. But it is just a thing that men, like, women do it too, surely. Trying to be like, obviously they don't probably say it the same as we do, but.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say if someone inspires me, or like I aspire to be like them, but I wouldn't say I'm trying to be like you, because I'm just trying to be like me. There's only one of me.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think I've ever been in the gym and been like, oh, I need to look like this guy.
Don't get me wrong, I've seen some girls' bums and been like, fucking hell, why don't I look like that?
Of course, you can appreciate this guy. Yeah. Clearly, he's taking gym serious. He's aesthetically, he looks sick, but I don't care enough to where the first thing I'm going to say in the conversation is, I'm trying to be like you. I need to get da-da-da. Do you know what I mean?
Anyone that says that is insecure.
Yeah. I think
anyone
so
that says that to you is insecure. And I'm not saying that in a way of judging anyone. Everyone is insecure, I believe.
I think so too.
But anyone that says that outwardly is something that they're battling with.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, like, for me, I couldn't speak for myself. When I say I'm trying to be like you most of the time, it's just a conversation filler. I'm not trying to be like you.
Oh, yeah.
In any way, shape or form. I like being myself, I'm not going to lie. But it's just a convo filler more time. But
I would like to be myself without all the panic and anxiety.
I want to know what you would have, what Meg could have been like if she hadn't been banging drugs from 15.
Boy, I don't even know if I would have gone to uni though. That's the thing. We might not have ever met.
It's true. That's very true.
I don't know where my life would have gone. I would, like, if I was never hospitalised when I was 19, I would still be doing drugs now. And God knows where I'd be. I wouldn't be doing this job, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably wouldn't have met, actually, really and truly. Tell the people how we met, actually. Uni was jokes. Like,
uni was lit. Oh, why aren't we at uni now?
If I could, I just want to do first year again. That's it. The other 2 years.
First year was unreal. Shout out everyone that we met there.
Facts.
I literally love you all. Like, for real, uni changed my life. Because I came from a place where I was literally scared to leave my yard. I was so mentally ill.
Yeah.
And I'd done my application and I got in, and there was a part of me that did not want to go.
Yeah.
But I forced
You didn't seem
myself.
like that, though.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't ever seem like I have a mental illness. No one ever
it's true.
knows until I speak about it,
It's
because
true.
I'm an extrovert. Do you know what I mean? I hide it well. The only time you'll know is if I'm feeling anxious and I say to you, I'm having a panic attack. It can literally come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And people are like, what? You don't seem like it. And I'm like, yeah, internally, my heart is fucking rumbling.
Going crazy, yeah.
But yeah, I came to uni and I was in a place where I was just fucking scared of everything.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when my dad picked me up at the end of, the end of first year, we went to breakfast together. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, the last day. Yeah.
And then my dad picked me up and he was like, I'll be honest, Meg, I didn't even think you'd make it through the first week.
Swear.
And here you are, you've made it for a year. And I was fucking bawling it. Looking out the car window like a music video or something. I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I've done it. And then, that just motivated me to do the further 2 years. And
yeah, I was going to drop out first year. I remember that. I don't know if I ever spoke to you about that.
I think so.
I probably did.
Yeah.
And you were like,
I probably
do
said don't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. You and Aisha were like the main reasons I didn't drop out.
Not gonna lie though, like I think my mental health was at its absolute worst when I finished uni, and I think it's because I don't know if anyone else can relate, but you go from like being around your friends all the time, every day, having something to do, having something to focus on, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, what am I going to do for money? What am I going to do for a job? Where am I going to live? Because there's no way I'm going back to my hometown. I know you can relate.
Facts.
Like all of this stuff, and I'm like, shit. And I moved out of a house of 5 people. I moved in with Piers and Aaron, so 2 boys. And you know, boys aren't as social as girls sometimes. So I'm there like in the evening, like, who wants to watch a film with me? And they're like, Aaron's doing music, Piers is at work, and I'm just sitting there like, what have I done?
I would say the same. The only 2 times that I can noticeably say like my mental health wasn't great was straight after uni, because of the same stuff that you said, and then when I turned 25 as well, because I feel like turning 25 just felt like
quarter life crisis.
Yeah, like literally, it's just like, am I where I should be? Should I be? Do you know what I mean? You just start.
I feel the same. I'm 27 this year. Like, where has my life gone? And also, I wanted kids at 26, and I look at my life now, and I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah, facts.
I am a kid still. Like, how? Like,
it's true.
How did I think I was going to have kids at this age?
I want kids just in case. Like,
what do you mean?
Just in case, innit? Just in case. I want a kid this year.
Just in case
something happens to me next year. Do you know what I mean? Just in case I get hit by a car or something. Do you know? No, shit
can happen.
And
then your kid has no parent. Like, what?
No, but it's not about the parent. Obviously, it's about the parent.
It's all about the parenting.
They'll have the mom. But I'm saying in terms of like carrying on Because for me, carrying on just the line
Legacy,
of your family
yeah.
is very important for me.
Well, you got siblings as well.
What if we're on a fucking airplane going on holiday and it crashes and me and my siblings are on that plane?
What, and you would leave your baby at home?
Yeah. It's COVID times. But yeah, no, I remember I used to think 28, I would have met the love of my life. We'd be planning on, I'll be getting married at 28, and then 29, we're having a kid. Impossible. That is impossible. One, I'm 25, so that means I've got 3 years to find the love of my life.
Life really changes within
Impossible.
a matter of days, though. T, you could meet the love of your life in the gym. You could meet her in Audi. You know, like.
No, it's true.
All of that, you just don't know. And if the love is real, you might be ready for a kid in a year.
No. I've always said to myself, and I've always promised myself, and I don't think this is something that I can break. I need to have known that girl, like been with her for 5 years before I start doing any of that.
What I've learned from relationships as well, yeah, is that, how can I word this? When you get in a relationship when you're reasonably young...
Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyone listening?
I mean, for me, yeah, I'm like... I got in my relationship when I was 21, I think, or 20.
Yeah.
Now I'm 26. We are not who we were when we were 21.
Yeah.
We are running into obstacles that will change the rest of our lives. You are not who you were. And when relationships break up at our age, it's completely understandable because you've changed so much as a person that, you know, like the person you fell in love with, like, is still them, but they've grown, they've changed, they've evolved, you know, like they've got different values in life to what they did when they were 21.
That's facts.
For me, I used to drink alcohol fucking 5 times a week, and now I don't even drink once a month. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Everyone's different. So I think getting in a relationship when you're like our age, the person should be established. They should know who they are.
It's true.
You should build that connection based on who they are as an adult.
It's true. I don't even think, no, that's a lie. I was going to say I don't even get anything. If you get in a relationship with someone, I was going to say, if you get in a relationship with someone from the ages of like 19, 20, 21, it doesn't really count. But I do know people that have made it last, so...
Well, for me, my relationship counts, you know what I mean? It's been very, very pivotal to my whole entire...
Yeah, of course.
Learning about love. You know, what I've also learned is that, you know, two people that come together that have their own traumas...
Yeah, it's going to clash.
It clashes, but you also are very important to each other. That the attachment is fucking mad.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a real thing. You don't only get attached to your parents, you get attached...
To everyone that's close to you, really. Especially someone that you're in a relationship with.
Yeah. But I mean, relationships impact your mental health a lot, like positively and negatively.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to be ready to get into one.
Yeah, facts.
You have to, because, boy, going into a relationship when your mental health isn't good, it really is a weight. Yeah.
That's another reason why I think it's like you said, it's better. Obviously, if you get in a relationship young and it works, well, like sick. But
shout out everyone that's worked for.
Yeah, shout out everyone that's making it work. But at this age, like you're saying, you should know yourself more. You should know your mental health. When I was 19 getting into a relationship, the last thing I was thinking about is the impact that my traumas or my mental health at the time is gonna have on the relationship and so yeah, it's definitely an important thing. Healthy relationships equal healthy.
Well, yeah, because when you're in a relationship, you now have to prioritize two people.
Yeah.
When you're single, you only prioritize yourself. It's easier to work on yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was single, I engaged in a lot of unhealthy habits.
Yeah.
A lot of sexual encounters that should not have happened.
Yeah.
A lot of that bullshit that I carry with me now. But my relationship saved me from that.
Yeah.
And now what I've learnt through that and my relationship is what I won't do in the future.
Yeah. No, it's true.
So there's benefits to being single and being in a relationship, but it's just what works for you at that time in your life.
Yeah, I definitely feel like being single is so great for me right now. Like you're saying, the time just to like work on yourself is so necessary, because now you can, now going into future relationships, I know myself more. Do you know what I mean? I know myself more. I know what I should and shouldn't do in certain situations, based on like, or how I shouldn't let my traumas impact certain aspects of my relationship. So it's true. So let's go through some of the coping mechanisms for mental illness.
So, like I said earlier, little disclaimer, I'm not a healthcare professional, so if I say these things and it don't work for you or something fucks up for you, then don't come running to me, honeys. But this is just what has worked for me. So meditation, I would say it's something that you really have to practice and get into. When I first started doing it, I was like, fuck this shit. What is this?
That's me.
Like, how am I lying there with a guided meditation on, and all of a sudden I'm thinking about what am I having for dinner on Friday? Like, what is that? It's not. But you do learn, like now when I meditate, I can be so present.
How long have you been meditating for?
Oh, I mean, I used to dabble in it from first year at uni.
Yeah.
But I started taking it seriously in 2018.
Okay.
I do different forms of meditation. But always guided.
Yeah, I think maybe I should try guided, because I feel like I've tried it and I'm just, like you said, I'm just sat there and then I'm thinking about just
you
random
have to
shit.
keep practicing.
I can't do it.
It's so easy to be like, oh, this doesn't work for me, but you have to keep practicing.
My brain's too active. I can't.
But meditation helps your brain become less active. It teaches you how to focus on only one thought at a time.
I suppose. I feel like I should start doing that actually, because I don't know if you've ever noticed, because obviously you're looking at me from the outside, but I don't really, in conversations, I don't really pay attention to stuff. Like I really tend to zone out or like think about, I don't know, whatever the fuck I want.
We having a conversation and like there's chitter chatter going on in my head the whole time. Like this whole time through this podcast, I've been thinking about other shit.
Facts.
That's the part of this modern world we live in. There's so much going on all the time that we've got so much to process. For me, it's
literally like I won't even hear what you're saying while I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about, and then I'll try and catch up with the conversation and then start thinking about what I'm going to say next, actually being present in the chat. So I think meditation is something that I need to
it helps you train your mind for sure. Exercise, obviously we've touched on that. Exercise that is right for you, your body, your mind. Don't feel pressured that you don't look like whoever, whatever. Don't do exercise to look good, do it to feel good. I think that's the main thing.
Big facts.
Yoga is something I'm trying to be more consistent with, because when I do it, I literally feel amazing.
I heard that yoga is for people that have PTSD, it can actually, whatever therapy you're on, it can actually make that not even necessary, just doing yoga constant.
Well, again, it's to do with the breathing you do whilst you move your body. It's that deep rhythmic breathing that really connects you to yourself. I sound like a fucking guru, but that is why yoga works. I've done yoga like twice. It's so hard, you know. I've done it twice a day for the past 6 days.
That shit is hard.
But it gets up. Normally what happens, it gets to the 10th day and I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered, and that's it. I stop doing it. So I'm trying to be consistent. Supplements are really important. Like, I take a real concoction. I've literally replaced all the illegal drugs I used to do with Bare Health. I need to loads. Adaptogen herbs as well. Yeah, sea moss every day.
You always rave about sea moss.
Yeah, well, do you want to know the best thing that has cured for me? Well, not cured, but my IBS.
Yeah.
I developed IBS from doing so many drugs. Yeah. Because I used to vomit, like put it in a Rizla and swallow. And since I had sea moss, well, I don't want to get too explicit on a podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about you blowing up the toilet.
It's good for your bowel movements. Healthy relationships, we touched on that as well. Work-life balance. Oh my God, I can't stress to you enough how important it is to not work yourself to the ground. You were not born to work, you were born to live. You need to live your life, and work should be something that you do within that.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, work-life balance is so important. If you don't have it, you need to find a way to get it, because it's literally like the most important thing ever. You cannot be a rat in the system if you're not enjoying your life as well.
Yeah, it's true. I found that as well, like, because before we moved into this new house with like all my lot now, obviously I was renting a room in it, and I can tell the difference from like when I used to go work and just go back to this house where I'm just renting a room off a couple, to finishing work and coming back to a house where I'm with my friends.
Yeah.
The difference is so crazy.
I bet
like, even on my mental health, it's quite crazy.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, living with friends is just lit anyway. Like you can come home and just some days
literally just chill out, relax,
get carried away chatting.
Yeah,
which is good. Therapy. I mean, if you can afford it, go private. Do it. You'll never regret it. It takes a while to find who works for you. NHS is free, but the waiting lists are bare long. You don't always get what you want from it.
Yeah.
But it depends what borough you're in or where in the country you live. But I think it's IAPT service where you can like self-refer yourself for talking therapies on the NHS, and some people have had good experiences with it.
Yeah.
Again, it depends what borough you're in, depends what you get for it. CBD oil. Oh.
I need some.
You do?
I need some. I need to stop smoking.
I used to have the worst relationship with sleep.
Yeah.
I used to sleep so badly, have really bad nightmares, awful insomnia, hot sweats in the night. I couldn't sleep unless Aaron was in the bed.
Yeah.
Like, really, really bad sleep patterns. When I started taking CBD, oh my fucking God, I can sleep 10 hours straight with only waking up to go for a wee. And, like, it really changed my sleeping pattern to where now I don't need it to sleep. I can now sleep without it.
How expensive is CBD?
It depends on the brand. You need to get one with 0% THC.
What was the one that you sent me that time?
Probably Canary. That's what I use.
Yeah, it was Canary. I need to buy that.
That's what I use. So now I take it in the day because there's so many other positive effects. Like in our system, we already have cannabinoids.
Yeah.
I can never say that word. Like obviously when you bun weed, you've got the CBD and the THC. The THC gets you high. The CBD is medicinal.
Yeah.
I think THC has some medicinal properties, but smoking gives you lung cancer and fucks up your lungs.
Yeah, this is why I need to buy this oil.
I don't care if it's a herb from the earth. It is smoke in your lungs. You need to have a tincture. You need to get that CBD oil under your tongue, hold it there for 2 minutes, swallow it. Yeah. You can get CBD tea, CBD gummy bears, all that shit, but again, that's got sugar, that's got all this. Just get a tincture.
Yeah, I need to buy that because right now, my lungs are collapsed probably right now.
Well, I forgot to mention the Wim Hof method.
Yo, the app is. I can hold my breath.
Have you been doing
all my
the
life?
breathing?
I can hold my breath for like 3 minutes.
Can you? Yeah. The longest I've done is 2.5.
I can hold my breath for 3 minutes, which is crazy.
Your lungs should be calm then.
No, but I haven't done it in like 2 months, and then since moving into this house, we're like it's literally every night.
I've been doing it every day for a long time, even when I had COVID, every single day. Yeah. And I believe that's why I didn't get a chesty cough.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I had COVID, it just felt like a cold for literally 2 days, and then I was fine. But
Wim Hof method, though, cold water therapy. So this is something that I'm trying to get better at. I do my cold showers every day, but I literally aspire to be those people that can just run and jump in the freezing cold water. Because apparently it makes you feel amazing. And for people like me that have anxiety and the physical sensations, apparently it's like the best thing.
It gave me anxiety.
Because it shocks your system. It
gave me anxiety.
I mean, it gives me anxiety thinking about it.
I fell in the ocean in Portugal, Gee.
Yeah, but it's all about Wim Hof controlling your breath when you're in there. Because when you fall in, you're like hyperventilating. Get me out. What can I grab onto?
Yeah, the last thing I think about is breathing.
Yeah, but that's because it happened accidentally.
And I'm thinking about giant squids and that.
Yeah,
trying to grab my leg.
But when you do it, like there's a swimming pool in near Notting Hill or something, a cold water swimming pool.
You can't jump in a cold swimming pool.
No, it's cold. It's specifically cold water swimming pool. Like it's not your average swimming pool. It's cold water.
You can't jump into a cold water swimming pool.
No.
I thought you were talking about the ocean.
I can't even jump in a cold water pool. It's so fucking cold.
That's crazy.
I bet you wouldn't do it either.
I definitely would. If
No, you wouldn't. Let's go there. I'll record you.
That's calm. Let's do it. I'm only scared because it's the ocean, innit? This shit can grab me.
Oh no, the cold water.
Swimming pool.
It's something about. I can do 3 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes in a cold shower, but it's something about being fully immersed, head under, shoulders under, full body, having to breathe. Oh my god! But apparently, it's really, really good for you.
It is, 'cause you jump in, you come out, and then the next time you get in, it's warm.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've got poor circulation in my feet, so like I'd have to wear them sock things.
Oh yeah. Where is this pool?
There's one in central London. I can't remember what it's called. It's like I'll find it and send it to you.
Isn't there an outdoor pool in Teddington?
It's heated in Hampton. It's heated though.
Well, that was a great episode.
Yeah, so all of these coping mechanisms, like try and incorporate them into your life. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do all this shit, and some days I still feel hopeless. But more days than I used to, I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy that you went from where you was at 19 to where you are now.
Literally.
I love it. And thank you for coming on the pod.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a great episode. It's been a long time coming.
We should do it again. What can we talk about next time?
Let's not spoil it for the people. But Meg will be returning. Now that she's gotten over her fear of speaking on the pod.
My voice is monotone. I don't know how I do spoken words so effortlessly, and then on a fucking podcast I sound like I don't know what's monotone, but whatever that is.
That's why I always take the piss out of you when you answer your phone.
Yeah. It's like, it sounds like I'm holding my nose, innit, all the time. Like constant COVID or something. Fucking hell.
Well, I'm glad you said it.
But yeah, I used to get bullied for it. And now that I do spoken word and I get, all of them views, all of them likes, and I think, fuck the bullies.
They're only liking it for, what's it called? Just to make you feel good about your voice.
Fuck off.
Right, thank you for tuning into the
Bye,
podcast.
Bitches.
Anyone that's made it this far, mad love, appreciate you.
Big up yourself.
More episodes coming. Peace.
Peace.